Did he play? I mean, you know, he went to support them.
Yeah.
Oh.
We have another tournament next week. This one, it's different. Yeah. It's like a turf.
You get nervous, you know, all the people and these things. Ready to begin. Yumi was here for a second. Disappeared. Oh, there you are. Okay.
I'm shorter sitting down.
Okay, let's begin with Gassho. Everybody put your hands together. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Okay, thank you. Yeah, we have a new setup today. We're usually, in the past, we've had an outdoor service. Put your hands down. So, but it's nice to see. We fill up all these chairs for Dharma school, and it's very nice. New ones are coming again, so thank you very much for your being here. So, yeah, everything's a little bit different. I'm trying to see if all the connections work and everything for the adult service. Usually we have okay, so we have some plans for the class. Yumi's going to show you a video in the social hall when we finish. How many were, who was here last week? Any? 1, 2, 3, 4. You were here? Yeah. Thursday, the 21st, they had a ring your bell for peace. Okay? So this was a program from Hawaii. And so they invited, they sent these flyers out, they had this whole program and it's a special thing because it was initiated by the Dharma school students to have this day recognized in all of Hawaii. You know, it's not like a day off from school or anything, but they had a special day, Ring Your Bell for Peace Day. And so they had the Pacific Buddhist Academy providing songs, and they had about 4 songs by Jake Shimabukuro. So that's always nice just to listen to him, and he's such a nice, wonderful ukulele player. So the Ring Your Bells part, they had everyone, only people with bells. And so I had this bell. And for 5 minutes, people are just ringing their bells. You know, that wasn't going bang, 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 but just every now and then. And other people are doing the same. Some had those big bells from the temple. Some had the hanging bells that we start the temple with. And so there are all these different bells are being rung for 5 minutes. It's kind of very touching. Sense of peace in the whole world. We see in the news there's a war going on here, and difficulties in other areas of the world, difficulties here in our country too. And so to stop arguing with each other, to have a sense of peace in the world. So this is what this is about. Some other flyers, Jake Shimabukuro, all these people that helped organize it. So a lot of things were sent to us. So who has a good idea of what's an example of peace or a way to use peace in a sentence? Have you ever thought of that? Who can say peace, a sentence using peace? Anybody? Do you have one? Hard to think off the bat, huh? How about
Everybody's getting along.
getting
No
along?
fighting.
Yeah. What if your mom asks you, can you help me bring these groceries in the house? And if you say, okay, and grab something, then your minds are together and there's kind of like peace in the air, right? Not like I want to be peaceful with mom thinking out loud, but the whole feeling of the family is peaceful, right? Don't you think? Yeah. But if you said, no, mom, I'd rather watch TV, and she has one idea, you have a different idea, and that peace is not there. She's thinking, how come he can't help me? And you're thinking, why does she ask me when I want to watch this show? Right? And so you're not on the home. You see that at temple, right? They bring out food after service, and you see your favorite thing. And maybe you think, oh, maybe I should wait till other people get their food first. And so you kind of allow the peace to be. So these are ideas of peace. Okay. So some of you, the first Sunday, I think you were here, and we had the guest speaker. Do you remember this family? Were you here when he came? I think so. Yeah, so he was a speaker. He didn't speak to you guys, but he has a son in a wheelchair. Do you see that? Remember that? Yeah, so he had this wheelchair, and he's little. His name is Aki. Okay, so they brought him in a wheelchair, and he can't sit down very comfortably. So he's in his wheelchair. He couldn't even come up to the hondo. They left him in the social hall and let him lay down on his mat. He has this condition that makes it hard for him to, he doesn't. His dad spoke at 2 services, and we took him to the Charlie Brown Museum. So we have these pictures of him.
Oh, yeah, it's on with Charles Schultz.
Gift bags, and again Snoopy. So he had fun. He had fun, but he's limited, and so when we think about, we feel peace or compassion, and we feel bad for him, right? Because he's kind of limited. But there's not a lot we can do. We can be welcoming to his family. We can be kind to him. Things like that. We can't really help him. It's not like we're gonna carry him up the stairs. His parents know better. He would rather stay on his mat in the social hall. And he's used to it, so this is how we do it. Okay? And so we try to be considerate of those kind of things. Sometimes we see something like that happening, right? Sometimes when we're at the shopping mall or even at school, maybe someone is uncomfortable or not well, And so we are considerate when those kind of things happen, when we notice those. Anybody have an example of that at school? Do some of your classmates have limitations like this? Charmin?
I had a limitation when I broke my foot.
You broke your foot?
I couldn't go up and down the stairs. I couldn't go anywhere very well, right? And so you had to help.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it can be physical. It could be people who can't see. It could be people who can't hear. It could be people who can't move comfortably. It could be in many different ways. And so I think what Sensei is saying, peace is also like compassion, that we reach out with our heart. We are very respectful, and we try to make their way easier, but we also want them to feel included. So Aki could hear us. He just couldn't speak to us. He couldn't make signs with his hands. But if you put him in front of a computer, he can write. He can type out what he's feeling and thinking. So in that, don't think just because somebody doesn't look like you or move like you that they can't understand. I think that's the important part.
I had a classmate that I remember that he had these mean, kind of a bully guy, and he went up to him and pushed him down just to be mean. And it's so sad that, you know, I think it's happened a few times in his life. He just got back up and ignored the guy, but I felt so badly for him, right? And sometimes you see that it's not right. When we come to the temple, we talk about compassion. We don't talk about peace a lot, but we talk about compassion. And I think act with compassion towards each other, towards mom, towards dad, brothers and sisters, whoever. And we practice that by coming here and behaving nicely. So all of this is part of the lessons of the temple. Okay? So that's my sharing for today. And I'm going to give these pictures to Yumi, so maybe she could put them up in the classroom. Okay? 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, I wanted to add that, when I saw him 2 weeks ago in the chair, I felt bad that I didn't go up and talk to him, although I don't know how much English he understands, but he understands some. So, but and I work in that field of rehabilitation, and I'm used to people in wheelchairs. Communicate, or you just can try to avoid them. I have some members here in wheelchairs. My mom was in a wheelchair for a while, and I think it's important to remember that they are interested in you and interested in having you come up and say hello, and don't want to feel I know, he would have probably appreciated it maybe because who's that crazy lady who's so tall. But so when you see someone who doesn't look like us maybe, or in some kind of device or using a device, don't let it scare you. Especially as kids, I think sometimes you get a little nervous. But even as adults, we tend not to say hello or converse with them.
Yeah.
of breaking through that. And so by using our words, that's another way to reach.
And instead of saying nothing, you say, "Good morning, Sensei." That makes me so happy because you're coming out of your bubble, touching my bubble, and we're saying hi, good morning to each other. So when you say good morning to the others, it's the same thing, right? The elders, they are not in our circle of friends, but part of the temple, so we respect them. One of the very nice things that happened at the temple 2 years ago when we had our Monodori, the festival, and everybody's dancing, and Dorothy and others decorated the wheelchairs. So some of our elders could not, they can't move too well anymore, they're stuck in their wheelchair. We put them in the wheelchair, someone pushed them in the circle of dance, and they're smiling, they're so happy. They can't dance with their legs, but their arms are doing this, and they're part of the dance. So they were so happy. And everyone else that came were so happy that they were included, and not like before, that they had to be pushed to the side because they would get in the way. So no, let's bring them in the circle. And even other temples said, "Look at that, that's so neat, that's so neat. We should do that too." And everyone was so proud of Alameda that they were so welcoming and so warm to people that are a little bit different, a little bit limited. And so we can learn from that and try to practice our compassion and bring peace to our temple, to our lives. So, okay, let's put our hands together again in Gassho. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Okay, so there's incense burning. Who wants to begin? Yes?
Does anybody have a birthday this month?
Is there a September birthday? Okay, last Sunday of each month, we're going to have Birthday Sunday. So if you come and it's your birthday month, you come up in Oshoko, okay? Offer incense and everyone will sing happy birthday to you. So this is a new Alameda tradition, okay? So you remember. And
Joyce.
Joyce.
No, it's Amy. Mine's in November.
Oh, okay.
It's a big one.
Okay.
A big one.
That's a big one.
Wink, wink.
You want to come up and offer incense?
Yay.
You have to do it a real nice job. Here they go.
Okay.
We forgot.
Very good. Who's
Cora.
next? Come on up. Come on up. You come.
Okay.
Good for her.
Yes.
Very good. Who's next? Come on up. Okay, nice job. Very good. Not so low. You don't have to go that low. Yeah, very good. Who else? Parents, teachers, come on up. How old is she? Cool. If you watch, Charmin's very good at doing this for sure. So if you try to copy her, you'll have things right. She's been practicing for a lot of years.
I had a good teacher.
Okay, I think you have things going on in the social hall, so you want to take them over there?
Come on down.
Follow Yumi.
Follow
and
me.
go on down.
I think there's people coming. Yeah. There's people coming. Good job. Good job.
Hi.
Hello. Hi.
Do you need help?
Oh, maybe we brought this banana bread for
Do you want me to carry this? Okay, thank you. So I'll take it to
I'll
the
use it for the gym.
Okay.
I just
Don't really know.
Following afternoon. So this is our Dharma school, the children's program. We have a good service.
Morning. Yes. Okay. How was the service outside?
Nice. A little chill.
Two leaders.
But honestly,
When they were young, yes. Not so much. Here. I did.
Yeah, that's the speed run. So it's the biggest thing is
Okay, you can stay in the yard for 2 more minutes, and I'll call you in.
to have this, right? So it started, and luckily, the new one started in September.
Good morning.
Hey, more than I expected here. Usually, last week was a major Mohegan service, and often after the major service, we don't have two. So, and the Jews say a short Dharma message. I think for our reading, we're going to do the Sambujo in English as a reading, okay? And we get a, then he gets a break from the organ, so well-deserved break, and could save our vocal cords for next week. Okay? We are ready. We don't need to pass those back. Can you help me pass these back? They forgot where the books go. And the Jew saying it. Namanda
ぞ政府上昇が過保無力無理大接種無罪ショッピング政府上昇政府上昇が利欲人少年上下衆本領力現代公無償無裁量少女三苦病交際集約難会議指令滅死婚の案閉塞小白道通達修本構想上半蔵人口1月収入期健康不変一週間放送公正空徳法情報大収集説法指示秩序満得意三大用用物無限死通達未不詳難な国書天理大人領で
pass it forward so you don't have to fold it or step fly away. Thank you. Nice setting to be out here. So I think we had years ago each year. I think that was part of our outreach and membership group, and so kind of we used to have food and different things and welcoming. Today, in particular, is also the last Sunday in September, so it's birthday Sunday. Do we have any September birthdays? None. Okay, shucks. August we had a few, and each last Sunday of each month we'll invite people to come up and Oshoko, we could say. For that, okay? We don't need people to be shy. It's kind of a happy and festive thing. People get to know a little bit about you and things like that. So it's a good thing. Okay? And also the fourth Sunday, it's Ask Reverend Dennis. So today we have an Ask Reverend Dennis session. So towards the end of service, if you have some questions for me, you can ask them, and I'll make something up and have a good time with it. Okay? Very good. We're going to have read the Sambujo in English, but I collected all the cards already, so never mind. We won't do this. In Hawaii. So they sent us all these different flyers to remind people. I didn't. Zoom screen was full, a couple pages of people participating in different temples in Hawaii in different groups other than Buddhist temples as well. I didn't see too many DCA representatives, so I'm very happy to share that Alameda and Munchie were part of their day. We had a whole program with speakers and invocation and greetings from different people. And what's kind of cool about Ring Your Bell for Peace Day is that it was initiated by Honganji Dharma School, YBA maybe, and they kind of petitioned for legislature to hold this day. It's not like a school holiday or a paid holiday or anything, but recognize the 21st of each year to be a Ring Your Bell for Peace Day. And we honor the legacy of the Hawaii Federation Junior YBA members who inspired the Hawaii legislature in 2007 to be the first state to establish Peace Day Hawaii, a non-holiday observed on September 21st each year in the state of Hawaii. So it's to promote peace programs, improve international relations, and increase educational awareness of peace. So very nice thoughts that they had. And in the middle of the program, they had everyone who had a bell to everyone else was removed from the screen. So everyone with a bell would ring their bell for 5 minutes. So some people I had this, and not just banging, banging, but just on occasion. And other people had the big poncho, to start the service, and other people were sitting in the altar for their hitting their daikin, and others had handheld bells and different types of bells. Some people had cowbells and a lot of different types, but just for 5 minutes these bells were ringing, and they kind of focused on different people ringing their bells, and I'm very happy to get a minute of recognition for the Alameda Temple. It was good. in this program, they talk about peace and harmony, right? And emphasize this throughout the world. You watch the news and there's wars going on and conflict. And even in Alameda, there's difficulties and robberies or whatever we might have. So to promote and to consider peace is a good thing. At the temple, we don't really talk about peace. I was trying to looking through Shindan's Wasan's poems that he wrote. Where is there a mention of peace? And just not very many. Okay, so they don't talk about peace, and we talk more about compassion here at the temple, right? And in thinking about that, I was thinking that compassion is how we act, and peace is a result. Kind of like cause and effect. Compassion is there first, and then as a result of compassionate activity from ourselves or from our temple, then peace is. So there's a connection, but the actual word of peace, you count them on one hand. You don't really find it too often. So part of the program was Jake Shimabukuro was playing his ukulele. He played about 4 songs or something, so it was like a private concert. It was very nice. So for the Dharma school, I had asked them. We learn about this peace and harmony. Here we talk about compassion, and we think sharing compassion. Do we have an example here? Who has an example of doing something compassionate or peaceful in the family setting or in the community setting? Voices. Anybody have a thing to share?
I don't know if that's still an organization, but they had a newsletter, and those very interesting people about this one family. They had a little bell, and when things got just too chaotic in the family dynamics, you ring the bell and family was taught. You hear the bell and you stop. Looking all over it because when I was doing the newsletter, I thought I'd stick it in the newsletter, and that'd be a good thing for families to adopt. And it's for the whole family, so that everything's going crazy, and a kid can go and ring the bell, and then the parents are supposed to stop yelling and screaming too. So I never could find that article again. Though.
Hit the bell.
Anyone. That kind of this isn't getting anywhere. Let's stop and start again. Start over. Do over.
Okay. With the Dharma school is, if your mother were to ask you, can you help me bring in the groceries? And if your response is okay, and help carry something in, then it's like a peaceful moment, right? You're on the same page. Whereas if you said, no, I'm watching this TV program, so I can't help you right now, then one's thinking, how come they can't help? One's thinking, how come she's interrupting me? So separation, disruption. But if they're on the same page, it's kind of like a cooperation and harmony and peace that's there. And we see the same. Any other example? Oh, very good. Perfect. perfectly fitting that you were looking for that article talking about peace right now. Anything else? Good example? Something had to have happened in the last 24 hours. Amy?
I'm just thinking community. I bring my dog to a Alzheimer's respite care program, and basically people bring their loved ones. And when I sit and I watch all the volunteers, it just is really heartwarming. One woman didn't speak English. I don't know exactly what country, it's a language nobody knows, but there's something where all she does is loud noises and just, gets so upset about everything. And I just noticed that over time, it's just that community of people, they just she seems happy. And I thought, wow, just a shift. And she just kept coming, and nobody kind of passed any judgment on her behavior. But now she just seems happy. Yeah, and her baby comes with her, and she seems happier too.
Oh, yeah, you could notice that, huh?
Yes, just all the kindness and compassion
Okay, good example. Any others?
When someone gets sick in the family, especially your extended family, it's always one of us is right there, helping the other out, or it's family first, and then of course you find out and friends. But it's one of those things where we depend on each other, and we're right there, whether it's bringing food or taking someone to the hospital, or. So when you brought that up, I mean that's the first thing that came to my mind.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, we see that quite often, difficulty or illness or something. Charmin brought up that when she broke her foot, she gets, I'm a little bit more compassionate when she has a broken foot. Yeah, when something happens and extending from that, we look out as family, we look out for each other. That's the most immediate circle. And quite often I try to point out that family, like we have family memorial services and things like that, and the family is a recognizable aspect of this infinite. So when we're saying Namo Amida Butsu, we're connecting to the infinite. But the first things we recognize are family, community, right? Society, our nation, and it goes beyond that. So at the temple, we're trying to extend that so that we see it not only family, but more than that. And here, we see this cooperation and looking out for each other within the temple community, right? When something's going on, and somebody's bringing out service books, and another one says, "Oh, I better go help," and so they come out together, and just helping each other. Another good example that we brought up at the Dharma school is when we had our monodori, we had the wheelchairs all decorated, and they weren't called wheelchairs. So people who were normally usually bound by the restraints of their wheelchair, they could be smiling. Their feet were not, but their arms were dancing, and everyone was happy to see them. And even through pictures and sharing the story, other temples would say, "You get people of dance," and to invite them, to acknowledge them, to welcome them. We're extending our compassion, and they're becoming, instead of set to the side, they become part of this movement of compassion. So this is all connected to peace, compassionate peace. Here, that is our theme today. Another?
I think my daughter and her husband have opened up their hearts and their home to care for foster children. They currently have a nonverbal autistic child who really has no home, has no parents.
Okay, yeah, good. We shared pictures today at our last Shotsuki service. Reverend Sasaki's son, Eiki, right? And he's very limited, and I knew he was in a wheelchair. They told me I picked him up from the Chodo Shinshu Center, and they asked me to do this, the JSIO program. Was how sure. So they said, well, he could sit in the chair in the car. Maybe an hour is his limit, and it's okay because if he has to move, Sensei and his wife will just lay him down on their laps. What to expect, picked them up, and once we came, he didn't even come up to the hondo, right? So they left him in the social hall, and they brought a mat so he could lay down, and we did something. Kind of limitations, and he's 23 years old, right? And to be that small and difficulties with his backbone, and can't support all his weight. You know, he's supposed to be very bright, but limitations in learning and interacting and all those things, so difficult. You know, we feel empathy and compassion, but there's only so much we can do when we see them. At the same time, we're warm to the family, welcoming to them, and I think this air that we provide, we know better than to ignore them or something. Sometimes when someone is different, that we make a separation, and so, but we try to engage with Sensei and his wife a little bit, say hello maybe to the son. Not only his physical limitations, but we had language barrier as well. So all these things are going on. At the same time, we can still be considerate, compassionate, and share this air of peace when people with different conditions come, right? So inside, we have a lot of pictures of their trip to Charlie Brown Museum, and they really enjoyed that. Still, I was wondering, you know, because he's in his wheelchair, but Sensei was so excited to be there himself. He wanted to take pictures with Lucy and all these things. So the pictures didn't show Eiki advantageously interacting with the character. Yeah, but we enjoyed that day. So all of these things, you know, we see these moments, kind of like flashing moments that we come across in our lives. We've all had that. I remember a high school friend that he had these meditations that he always had to have all through his childhood, and sometimes kind of a bully classmate just went up and pushed him down. So he sprawled out in the hallway, and it's happened before. He just gets up and doesn't say anything, but it's so sad that we have is compassionate towards them, who the friends are, and who engages and things like that. And to remind ourselves all the time that we are part of this greater whole, compassionate in action, peaceful in words, and how we carry ourselves. So this is all part of the temple, and I think that's what makes us feel welcome to be here, to be a part of it. And we go home and get back to our things, but it extends how we treat people at the golf course, at the beach, at the shopping center. I think all of us, for the most part, carry ourselves very kindly and respectfully, and this is all nurtured here at the temple. So, yes, Amy.
Sometimes I think people are uncomfortable about asking about the condition that someone has. And so there's a book that I think the Justice Center for the kids book, and it says if somebody has to have insulin, just ask. It's called just ask. And ask because sometimes you just get uncomfortable, you don't want to ask, and so like when Sensei was here, I just asked him like what makes him really happy, what does he love to do, and he said physics, and so all of a sudden my brain changes and there's a connection, and then he's just reads all about Stephen Hawking. But sometimes a person just gets ignored instead of, so this kids book tells kids, if somebody had, I can't even remember. The kids book, it's just so cute because it says, just ask, why do you have to be that? Then it just becomes normalized.
Yeah, good thoughts, good ideas. We find that quite often. We become hesitant.
I get sick when you're in a place that I'm so happy when I find something that's too high for me to reach. And then I will go out specifically to find the person who is least likely. Who's going to deny a little white-haired woman? Can you help me with that? And just start a conversation. Yeah. I love that. Don't ask me. Nobody's denied me so far, so I have to.
I only look for somebody who's taller enough to get the top.
No, it's gotta be tall
That's
and
the only
weird.
one I should. I don't do top.
I've pulled down many things. I've jumped at the grocery store, yes.
You're not so weird. That's amazing.
Yeah, when I moved to other, someone passing by in the truck, wave. He waved to everybody. Oh no! Come on, you can't know everybody around. It just seems odd because we're not that personable here in the city, right? In urban areas, but in particular out in the country, and Charmin in particular as well, more than many others. But she would wave, and she's chatting with people in the grocery store, shopping mall, even sisters. Her sister would say, "Oh yeah, I leave her for a minute," and sitting there with somebody, and they're like best friends all of a sudden. But yeah, Charmin is a good example of someone who is able to reach out and make some connections and break some of the ice that is often there. Please join me in Gassho. We'll close the service for today. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. One time we had a meeting, and there was a few of us in my and so because of that, I always look as soon as I could see the temple, and it really stands out. And all the more sitting out here today, we're able to notice and appreciate our temple, different perspective.
Jackie. Jackie. Oh, really? Thank you.
I was just going to dump it in there, but yeah,
No, that was-
dump the sift it out.
No.